country is about to host the biggest games of the world, Olympic Games. South Korea and Seoul was about to host the biggest games of the whole world, sports-wise. These were known as Olympic Summer Games. These were hosted in 1988. And you might say, why is the thumbnail saying that the people would be chagrined by this? Chagrined. I pulled that word out of my asshole. Chagrined by that. It's an actual word. You can search it up. But why would they be chagrined? Let me tell you. The people that were rich only got benefit from that. They got to watch it. They got popularity in the country. They sold things to tourists and visitors and foreigners. But if you, in 1988, inside Seoul, Korea, or even general Korea, didn't have a house or not a permanent place of residence where you can stay and basically live, if you didn't have that status with you in Seoul, South Korea, or anywhere in South Korea in 1988. First of all, I want to say disclaimer, don't make any observations, don't make any weird opinions and reviews on South Korea now, because that was a different time for South Korea. There was a dictator ruling over South Korea, and it's not the same right now. South Korea does not have a dictator, and now South Korea lives under democratic rule. So don't make any opinions or reviews about South Korea before researching in all sources, not just social media. So let's get on with it. It was 1988. A kid was walking home from school, and he was like near an alleyway or something, under a bridge or something. He was near the bridge, and a guy suddenly popped up behind him and grabbed him aside, like roughly, not gently, like people would say, hey, can I talk to you? Not like that. Like a general weird twisted way, like a kidnapper. He grabbed him and he pulled him aside and he said, hey kid, did you steal bread from the supermarket? And the kid would obviously say no, because he was just walking home. But in reality, the kid didn't have a home. His mother lived like down the street, and he was going there back to home. That was his home, I guess, from school. But he got stopped there by this weird man, and he suddenly starts asking him questions about a random piece of bread. And he was very rough. Like, if someone stole a piece of bread from your store, you would not even go after him or her or them. You would not even go after them. Like, you would just leave them alone. But this guy, he grabs the child. The child would be like 13 or 12 years old, I don't know. But he grabs the child, pulls him aside, and says, hey kid, did you steal a piece of bread? And this kid obviously says, no, are you out of your damn mind? A middle-aged man in his 50s or 40s pulling a child aside from public area into an alleyway, and no one gives a shit. He basically grabs the child and says, if you don't answer me the truth, you'll regret it. And the child was like, okay, Mr. Tough Guy, Billy Badass over here. Like, generally the child would not say those things. That was coming from me, not out of me, from me. The child was scared. So what was that? The child was scared, and he said that, no, I did not steal a piece of bread. Even though he did it. He actually did steal a piece of bread from that store, specifically. And he says, why'd you steal a piece of bread? You dumb son of a bitch. And he says, it's just a piece of bread, and I was suffering without food for days because they were poor as hell. Not to mention, sorry, I didn't mention that the guy abused him. Like, he pulled up a lighter to his private parts and he held it up until the kid said the truth, because the kid previously was saying, no, I did not steal a piece of bread. That's all in your head. That rhymed. So the child answers yes, and he tells the kid to stay here, I'll be right back, don't move an inch. So the child was really terrified after getting his private parts burned by a lighter. So he just stood there, not even shaking. He was terrified for his life. He was shaking in fear inside of him, in his mind. He was like, what's going to happen to me? This man is twisted and dark and psycho. After a piece of bread, he did this to me in general interrogation. What is he going to do? Take me to a polygon test or something for just a piece of bread? And then that guy comes back to him just a few seconds later, and he says, kid, come with me. And the child obviously says, no, I'm not going to go with you. You're a weird old man in his sick fantasies of burning a child or something. And then, when he refuses, a few other men pop out of a van that arrives there newly, and a few men pop out of the van, and they grab him and yank him inside the van, easily, because he was outnumbered and overpowered, he was obviously overwhelmed with the whole situation. He was overstimulated. He sat inside and he started yelling and screaming, oh my god, stop the man, why are you taking me, why are you kidnapping me, who is this, are you the police or something, did I do something wrong, I'm sorry for stealing. And then, after a few minutes, his eyes adjusted to the dark situation inside, like our eyes adjusted to the dark situations, and then he saw a few glowing orbs of white light pointed towards him. They were all looking at him from all directions. Those were eyes of other kids who were trapped inside the same van. And then the man goes to the facility that is known as Brothers Home Welfare Center. This welfare center was originally known as a concentration camp or a re-education camp for the people of South Korea who were known as quote-unquote vagrants. This is a bad word and will officially be considered a slur later in these years, we don't know. But these quote-unquote vagrants were took to a facility known as a Brothers Home Welfare Center. And there they would spend the rest of their 5 years.